host Muse, and today we're back with another episode from the Stardew Valley cookbook series, and we're doing Cheese Cauliflower.
In the game, you get this from Pam. In here, it makes 4 to 6 servings.
For prep, first we're going to put the racks of an oven on the bottom and topmost position, and then put the baking sheets in those, and then preheat our oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. In a large saucepan over medium heat, we're going to put in 1.5 tablespoons of butter and let that get kind of bubbly, and then we're going to add half a cup of panko crumbs, and we're using Parmesan herbs, so it's going to be even more cheesy than required.
So here it's already getting all bubbly. We're going to mix in our panko seeds and add a good amount of salt and pepper. There we go. And then mix that all in. For 6 to 8 minutes. So here's the thing, the mic ended up dying, and then we also kind of burnt the crumbs. We ended up putting them on a lower heat and taking them off sooner just so it'd be fine, but it shouldn't change the taste too much. And then we're going to take the pot that we just used, wash it, and fill it halfway with water. So here with that pot of water, we're going to take 2 cups of our cauliflower and dump that all in. And then we're going to get a large pinch of salt. And then we're going to put that on medium-low heat and let that cook for medium-high heat and let that cook for 7 to 9 minutes.
So now that we've done that, we're going to lower the heat to low, and then we're going to let it simmer for up to 15 minutes or until the cauliflower is really soft. And also we're going to do that with the lid on. Now while you're waiting for that to simmer, we have here our cheeses that we're going to grate. You're going to get 3 ounces or 1 cup of Havarti and Gruyere cheese, and 2 tablespoons of Parmesan. So we drained our cauliflower and put it into this blender, and now we're going to get 1.5 cups of milk, put that in here, and then we're going to blend until smooth. In that same saucepan, there's no need to wash it, we're going to get another 1.5 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to let that melt down. And then we're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and then 2 minced garlic cloves. So once we get that flour and garlic in, we're going to make sure to stir it constantly for 2 minutes. Now we're going to pour in our cauliflower mixture and a quarter teaspoon of thyme, and then we're going to raise the heat to medium-high until it starts to simmer. We're going to
whisk this throughout that so that the flour in there doesn't get too clumpy. Once that starts simmering, you're going to reduce the heat to medium, and you're going to keep stirring frequently until it becomes like a creamy gravy. 5 to 7 minutes. Now we're going to turn off the heat and we're going to get our Havarti and Gruyere cheese and add it in a handful at a time and whisk it in with each handful. And then we're going to keep whisking it until it's all creamy and in there. Very professional terms for all of these additions. So we seasoned that cheese sauce with salt and pepper, and now we're going to put it to the side and with the lid on to make sure it stays warm. Now we're going to get the rest of our cauliflower from 2 large cauliflowers, and we're going to get 3 tablespoons of olive oil and toss the cauliflower in that. And then we're going to season it with salt and pepper and toss it again. A quote from Mario. Some say the moon is made of cheese. I say it's made of cheese cauliflower. I hope to visit someday and find out. Now we took out those 2 baking sheets that are going to be very hot because they've been in the oven that whole time, and we're going to evenly distribute our cauliflower onto those, then put those into the oven and have them bake for 15 minutes. Now after 10 minutes, we're going to switch which one of these they're on. So I'm going to take the top one and just put it up here. Remove this bottom one, put it on top. Take that top one again and put it on the bottom. And now let it cook in there for the last 5 minutes. So we took our cauliflower out, and first we're going to mix our Parmesan that we grated into our panko crumbs. And then when you're preparing it, you're going to get a little bit of like a few cups of our cauliflower sauce. And then we're going to put on our cauliflower, then put the rest of our sauce on, and then put our panko and Parmesan on top. Now it's time to try this. It's good. I don't think I've had cauliflower a lot to really say how different it tastes or how much better it tastes. But the sauce and the panko with the cheese, it all tastes good. I like that a lot. The cheese is all mixed together really well, and it's like a little dance on your tongue with all the different flavors. Because I tried the cheeses separately when we were grating them, so I knew what all those tasted like, and together they all taste really nice too. So it's definitely a good combination. And I mean, everything tastes good. I'm not too much of a cauliflower person. It's not something I have often, but the cauliflower definitely tasted good in my opinion. So I'd say that this is pretty good. I definitely enjoy how everything mixes and how all the panko just kind of gives it that subtle crunch that's like, it doesn't feel like you're really crunching on like an extra thing, but it gives it just a little bit of texture that's nice. And yeah, this is really good. And now you know how to make cheese cauliflower from Stardew Valley. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. And that's the 8th recipe in the spring section.